Hello, everyone. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and today we are going to be making this super cute, let me see if I can get that, there we go, super cute thank you card. And we're going to be using the Nothing's Better Than stamp set along with the Ornate Thanks stamp set today to make this card. So stick around with me. We're going to be doing that, but let me put some information up on the screen first. So first thing I want to do is just direct you to my blog, which is where you can find information about me and my projects and all of that lovely stuff. So today is Saturday, March 13th. It is 5:32 p.m. and I was able to go live today. So if you are usually on my Facebook page or you follow me, you know that I have had to temporarily stop my Facebook lives, strictly for scheduling reasons. Well, I'm going to be phasing them back in. I don't have an exact time yet, but as soon as I know when I can do it, I will post an update. So that'll go out through my email list and all of that lovely stuff. But I just wanted to jump on today because I had an opportunity. Connor is probably at a park with his dad right now. I'm not sure. They're out venturing around in this fabulous weather. And so I wanted to jump on here and share a project with you. And I also wanted to talk to you about my first online card class. So if you haven't already heard, I put out a little bit of information about it. Registration for my class closes on March 19th. So there's still time to sign up. The best way that you can get the information from me is either to message me through Facebook or you can email me. I'll put my email up here. So you can email me at stampingwithhart@gmail.com if you would like information, or you can join my list. So let me see if I can, I think I have it, yeah. So what you can do is if you go onto Facebook, there's a drop-down menu and it will say join my list. I also have a pinned comment at the very top of my page where you can join my email list, and that's where all of my information goes first. So if you're already on my list, thank you so much. And if not, I would love to have you join my list. That way you won't miss a thing. So we're going to go ahead and get started making today's project. And then I will show you what I'm going to be making in the class. So we're not going to be making those cards today. I'll just kind of give you a sneak peek of what the cards are going to look like if you're interested in signing up for the online card class. So I'm just going to switch my camera around and let's go ahead and make this super cute thank you card. Okay, so bear with me for 1 second. I haven't done this for a little while. I'll switch this. Okay, perfect. So let me just get this stuff out of the way. I put a piece of glass down on my table and it's reflecting with the lights that I have here. So what are you going to do, right? All right, so I'm going to leave that banner up for just another moment while we get ready here. So let's focus on today's card first. We'll start making this project. Okay, this thank you card, actually, the thank you cards that I'm working on right now are actually for people who sign up for the class. So I've been in the process of making thank you cards. I wanted to give the people who are going to be attending my class, I want them to have additional ideas as to what they can make with their cards. And so this thank you and a few others are going to be going out as thank you cards for signing up for my first card class, which I'm so excited about. So we're going to recreate this card today. It's going to be easy and it's going to be fun. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll let you know what the products are that I have here. I'm going to take this down. And I have a fun question for you. So, and it's related to the stamp set, which I have here. Ignore my Simply Chamois, which has, definitely seen better days, right? Okay. So here's the question. If given a choice, and leave this for me in the comments if you're comfortable sharing. If you were given a choice of which one, would you choose coffee, cocktails, cookies, or chocolate? I would love to know. My answer, if all four were on a table and I could only choose one, I would take the chocolate chip cookie. I am a huge fan of chocolate chips. But if the chocolate chip cookie wasn't on the table, I would take the coffee. So if you're comfortable sharing, let me know in the comments what you would choose. Okay, so this is the Nothing's Better Than stamp set. This is the stamp set I'm actually going to be using in the online card class. We're going to be using it here today to create the background for this card. For the thank you part of the card, we're going to be borrowing from the Ornate Thanks stamp set. Okay, and there's so many different options that you could choose there. All right, and then in terms of our materials, let me just show you. So we're going to be using the thank you card size here. And I have the wrapper. I know I do. Oh, here it is. All right, so I will confess I'm still using Whisper White. And let me know, are you guys still using Whisper White? I still have it in my inventory here and I'm working through it. The new color is basic white. So most people have transitioned over. I'm a little behind, but I'm going to get caught up, I promise. So for today, we're going to use the Whisper White. These are the note cards and envelopes. I'm going to be using the Designer Series paper. It is the Neutrals 6x6 Designer Series paper. I'm going to be using the Early Espresso. And this is like, it looks like a fabric print, almost like a jean print. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the sheet that we're going to be using. And then our colors today are going to be Crumb Cake and Early Espresso. Okay, so we'll be using those. And then for my adhesive, we're going to go to my trusty multi-purpose glue. If you guys could see what I'm holding this glue in, you would laugh at me. Okay, so let's go ahead and put together our card. We'll do a little stamping here. We'll do the stamping first. How about that? So I'm going to take a piece. Again, I'm still using the Whisper White. If you have basic white, that's totally fine. And I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. Yep, 3. Just double checking myself here. And the first thing that we're going to make is actually this layer. So here's what the layer looks like, the leftover piece. And that was because when I was cutting my original cards, I had lots of cardstock left over. So I decided to make some background images. Okay, and we're going to do that now with the cookies. And then we're also going to be using this super cute little, it's like a star stamp, like a little 1950s style star stamp. So I'm going to use for two-step stamping. If you're not familiar with two-step stamping, if you are, let me know in the comments or those stamp sets that you enjoy using. I haven't tried them with my son who's 5. I haven't tried them with him yet, but he really loves puzzles and things like that. And I think he's really going to enjoy the two-step stamping. I'm going to try a video with him and see how we do. But I'm going to be doing the outline first. So I'm going to be doing the cookie outline first. And what we're going to do is just ink that up. I'm just going to go all across with the outline and then we'll start building this. So just going to ink this. and we'll go all across. You could do them in different directions. Just want to leave a little space in between. I tend to do like my edges and corners at the end. So you'll have to let me know. I love baking. Let me know if you're a baker. My go-to cookie back when we used to, go places, whenever I would have to go to a party or if I was bringing something, I would always make chocolate chip cookies, like the big, gigantic chocolate chip cookies. So as soon as I saw this stamp set, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love all of the options in the stamp set. Chocolate chip cookies is the one that I was like identifying with the most. Okay. Now I'm just gonna stamp here. I kind of have two going in exactly the same direction, but that's okay. So we'll do one up here. All right, now I'm going to start going off the paper a little bit. And if you have a little bit of a gap here like I do, like I should have stamped this a little bit closer. That's just where you would put your sentiment or whatever it is that you want to do there. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of come in on the edges here to kind of fill that in, make that look like it's, designer series paper type situation. Just get those edges. But yeah, so whenever I would take these cookies to the parties, they would go so fast. People really like the big cookies. And they would not share. Okay, which was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm going to go up into this corner here. And then like you can kind of see those spaces that need a little bit more filling. So let's do like a cookie bite here. And then we'll do, since we don't have a little cookie bite coming up, we'll do one on this side too. So that's just this little part with the crumbs. Okay, now this side I think is looking pretty good. So over here, we're just going to do a little fill in. Do the corner first. That's where my stamp seems to be going. All right. Now I'm actually going to have this come in a little bit. So I'm going to kind of do about 1/3 of the stamp here. It's a little close together, but it's okay. And then we're looking pretty good up here. Just gonna, a little bit of cookie there. I'm gonna do one more right in this white space. Okay. All right, I love the way that looks. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to shade in our cookies. And I'll put this one here just for reference. And this is the fill one. So I always put stamps on both sides of my blocks. I'm sorry. So this is the fill. And this block is actually block A. So it will still fit on block A, even though it's a smaller block. And then we're just gonna, what I tend to do when I'm doing the fill stamps, because I like doing the outlines and then the fill, but if you like doing the reverse, that's totally fine too. I just kind of like the identifying spots of this little bite is where I try to line it up when I'm stamping. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention, I'm gonna close my early espresso for a minute. We'll grab our crumb cake. Okay. So one thing that I wanted to mention here is that I actually decided to stamp off on this one once with the crumb cake cookies. Okay. So you could do without stamping off, and I'll show you the difference and what that looks like. So if you're going to do the full color, I'll do it over here where I'm going to be covering up that one spot. I should probably stand up for this. Okay, so you can see, and these stamps aren't designed to fill it perfectly. You're supposed to kind of see those little lines on the edge there. But if you really want that to be filled, you could always just stamp it again and it would be even darker. You could also use a little marker to color correct. We do have Crumb Cake in the Stampin' Blends as well. So if you stamp off once, which I'm going to do here on the paper, and then stamp, I am going to stand up so I can get a better line up here. Let's see. Okay, so you can just see the difference there, just depending on the way that you want your cookie to look. And then I'm going to go back in again and stamp off. And I'm just going to repeat that process until we fill up all these cookies. Okay, and I haven't had a chance to look at comments yet, but I will. All right, so many changes, you guys. I'm going to have to catch you up on everything that's going on. I hope to do that in the near future, but we won't chat about all of that today. But it's getting better. Let's just put it that way. Everything seems to be improving lately, which is a good thing. All right. To me, it's really satisfying to do the fill. I think that the fill stamp is actually more fun than doing the outside line stamps. Just going to do just like that. Okay. I do like about this stamp set that it does not have to be perfect. And if you aren't already familiar, this bundle, this stamp set and die set was inspired by another demonstrator. Her name's Connie Stewart. She's a pretty famous demonstrator, but she's one of the $1 million sales achievers with Stampin' Up! And whenever you hit that milestone, you can design a stamp set. And so hers was this one, and she has a very distinct style. And when I saw it, I just loved it so much. And when it came time to design my first class, I had tried to do a class previously and didn't make the timeline. It was a Christmas card class. So I ended up giving out the tutorial for free and just did like a YouTube video for it. But when it came time to try again, which is now, I thought I have to do the Nothing's Better Than, because I just love this one so much. Okay. All right, we're getting there. Lots of cookies, but you'll get 2 thank you cards out of this. Or if you were doing like a scrapbook page or something, you could do a strip for your scrapbook page, because I know that, baking and cooking and everything has been really big while people were at home, especially like incorporating their kids. So there's probably lots of pictures. I have a ton of pictures that I took of Connor helping me bake. So this would be an adorable scrapbook page too. Accent for it anyway. All right. And I think you'll find the more you stamp the fill stamp, the easier it gets to line up. Okay. If you are a double chocolate chip cookie fan, you could do early espresso with early espresso, or what's our other color? Soft suede. Soft suede would be a good one. Just depending on, what your preference is. I honestly don't know if I've ever even made double chocolate chips, because I'm a fan of the originals, but I'm sure they would be just as delicious. All right, looks like we have one more after this one. Cool. All right, I'm going to leave this open because this is what we're going to use for our little star stamp. And I'm going to stick with the A block for this because whenever you're using a really small stamp like that, less block is better so that you don't get ink on the block. So let me put that. Don't know what I did with my, I'm always setting things places where I shouldn't on my desk. Okay, so see, I actually got a little ink there. And we don't want that to end up on our paper. Okay, so let's do put the ink. Let me see if the stamp, I got the stamp wet. Hold on one second. I'll figure it out. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's our stamp. I don't know if you can see this or not. You'll have to let me know. Oh, I see comments are there. Oh, and I left my banner up. Oh, you guys, I'm sorry. Let me take that down. Let me check these comments. Hi, Jason. Hey, Ange. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Mary. Oh, I'm so happy to have everybody here. This is awesome. Okay, so we're going to do our little star stamp now. So I'm still using crumb cake, but I'm going to use full color. So I won't be stamping off for this. And for anybody who maybe just joined, the reason why this cookie is darker than the rest of them is because this is the full color of crumb cake, and this is with one stamp off. Okay, so now we're going to do full color crumb cake. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take the star and kind of go in between the cookies, not too crazy, just, you know, just some here and there. This is the one that I did previous to that. So we're just going to ink this up and then we'll start stamping. This star, just depending, you know, if you go to YouTube or check out other demonstrators and what they've done with this stamp set, this star, I think, aside from like these main pieces here, was the most used piece. And they have done some wonderful things with it. It was so cool. I was looking at everybody's stuff and then I thought, I'm just going to focus more like on the actual cookies and the chocolate. And I'll show you what I mean at the end. But I think that making the background papers is so much fun because you kind of become the designer. So they come out with really beautiful papers all the time. And we have a new catalog that's going to be rolling out soon. And we cannot wait. You know, those who love the designer series paper cannot wait to see what they've come up with. But in the meantime, when you want to get really good use out of your stamp sets, your background paper is probably the best way to do that. And then you can stamp these in advance and have them on hand whenever you need to cut it down into cards really quickly. Okay, so this is starting to look pretty good. And then I'm probably going to do just a couple more around here. So we'll do one in between these cookies. We'll do one over here. Okay, and then I'm going to do one over here. I'm going to take a look over here. We have more white space over here again. So let's do here, here. I'm going to go in between this little trio of cookies. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. So let me get in there. Over here. And you could just keep going. I mean, once you get going, that's it. And if you would want words in here, you could always do the word, you know, your word stamps in there with the actual, because there's like a cookie stamp in there. Or if you wanted like a smaller phrase or something, you could do that with your background, you know, your background papers too. So now we're going to put, well, you know what? Let me finish stamping. So no, we have to cut our pieces. So let me just set the ink over to the side for a minute. And I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. And here's what we're going to do. So our note card size is 3.5 by 5. Okay, so we're going to do just 1/4 inches down from that. So I'm going to take the designer series paper and we're going to do 3 1/4. Sorry, I was using my scoring tool. All right, so we're going to do 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. For whatever reason, that 1/4 inch is like my favorite border size. I know some people like it really thin, like 1/16 or 1/8. So whatever works for you, I'm going to work in those quarter sizes. Okay, so we have that there. And our strip for the cookies that we just made is already at 3 inches. So we're going to trim that down to 4.5. All right, so we have 4.5 here. All right, and then the other 2 pieces that we need is, let me get the card, the original card. So we're going to do another layer of the designer series paper, and that's going to be 1 by 3. So let's cut that. Let me see if this is the right size. So and then we're going to do 1 inch. I'm going to follow this line right here. Okay. All right, so I have my 1 by 3 piece. And just to show you in that place where we do have that space missing, it'd still be fine. Okay, so I'm going to just set that aside. And then we're going to get our other white piece, which will be for the thanks sentiment. We're going to do, looks like I got a little glue on this piece. We're going to do 3/4 inches. So 3/4. And then 2 3/4. Okay, and then after this live is over, I will go and put a picture of this card, and I'll put the card measurements for the thank you card, like all of our measurements and stuff. I'll put it over on the blog, just in case you want to reference it, but super easy. And we're just going to stamp our thanks. And so here's a card. All right, so for thanks, we're going to stick with crumb cake. Let me just make sure I have the right size here. Yes, okay. So we're going to do crumb cake. And I'm going to try to stay center with this and towards the top so that I have room for, so here's a card. So I'm going to stand up again so I can see this here. Okay, so we're going to do thanks. Let's see if I get that straight. Oh, good. Did pretty good. All right, and then for so here's a card, we're going to use early espresso. I close early espresso pretty much right away because it's such a dark color. I would get it everywhere. But let's just do this now. So I'm just going to line this up right underneath the thanks. Fits nicely. And there you go. And we're going to do a couple more of the crumb cake stars. Or we could even try the darker one, but this kind of goes with the theme. We'll stick with the lighter one. We'll stick with crumb cake. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my little star stamp here. We're just going to put a couple right around. So we'll do here and center on that side. And we'll do one more over here. Where should I put it? In here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start gluing all this down. And then our final touch on the front of the card is going to be these 3 little basic rhinestone jewels. So I'm just going to be using my multi-purpose glue for this. This is probably my favorite pattern out of the designer series paper packs for all of our color collections. And that's what I used in the class, which you'll see in a minute. But right now we're just going to glue on the other side of this piece. Just so that I can get this straight. Let's see. Put that down. The good thing about the multi-purpose glue is you have a minute to move it before you're all locked in here. Okay. And then let's do our cookie layer. Don't want to get your, too much glue, which I have a tendency to do. But we're pretty good here. Okay, just lining that up too. I'm going to do my layer like right in the center. My sentiment layer. Our little frame. I love frames. Pretty much in most of my designs, I can't help myself. All right. So we have that. So look pretty straight. Looks pretty good. Okay, and then we're going to do our sentiment. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get out my basic rhinestone jewels, or I think it's the other way around. Is it rhinestone basic jewels? And we have 3 sizes. We have the big guys, the middle ones, and then the littles. I'm going to use the small ones, all 3. I'm going to grab my tissue pick tool, but I know some people like to use their scissors or their fingers, whatever you prefer. And we're just going to kind of put them around the card, wherever you think. Put it over here. Okay, and then for the inside of the card, I just did, in a very light tone, just a little accent of the cookies down in the corner there. So we're going to do the same thing on this card. Okay, so we'll put them right down here in this corner. And this is also stamped off. So I'll show you here how we did that. Okay, I'm going to go back to my early espresso. Back to my cookie stamp. And so with early espresso, we're just going to stamp off once. Okay, so stamp off once, and then we're going to go to the card. And then same thing. I'm going to ink it again, stamp off right here at the bottom. And then one more time, we'll just do 3. All right, and then we'll do the same thing with the fill stamp for the cookie, but we're going to do, what did I do with it? Here it is. We're going to stamp it off twice, and that way it'll look really light. Okay. Just barely there, and that's so that if you're writing over it, it isn't going to be distracting from your note. I actually did that just one stamp off, so ignore me. Just do it twice. Okay, so you'll see the difference then. How about that? Okay, so even lighter. One, too. And then just these little edges here. And there we go. Okay, and here's our card. So let me just bend that down. And here's our thank you card, you guys. So super cute, super quick. If you are interested in signing up for the online class, you will receive a thank you card. Might not be this exact card, but I'm doing a few of them. So let me show you some of the other patterns that you can make. They're already done, but let me see. I see some more comments there. I can't wait to read them in just a second. So for more backgrounds, okay, so here's the chocolates. Here's what they look like. That is a combination of early espresso and crumb cake. And then you would just do your thanks sentiment over top of that. If you want to get into using the colors, I used the 2020-2022 in color collection for my card class. So I was using some of my scraps and experimenting, and it would help if I had it the right side up. If you don't want to do all the fill colors, like if you want to be really quick about it and you just want to do the outlines as your style for your card, then this is just the outline of the cups, just stamped and repeat. This is the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. All right, so each of these pieces is going to become a thank you card. And then this one is actually Bumblebee with the cocktail glasses. So full color, full stamp. I just kept it uniform so that it would coordinate well with the layer. But that's just, you know, a play on if you like to do lemonade or spiked lemonade or, you know, anything like that. Yeah, it's a thing, right? When we're having our cocktails and our drinks, we all know what we love. So those are just some different ideas for you in terms of different things that you can do with your background stamps. And now let me just show you a little bit about the online card class. So if you're interested, I'm going to be talking about that next, and then we're going to go through comments. So if you're interested in the card class, these are the cards that we're going to be making in the class. So we have the cookie card, we have the chocolate card, we have our coffee card, and we have our cocktails card. All right, so these are the 4 cards that you're going to be making. And whenever you purchase the card class, you're going to get a PDF tutorial. You're going to get a video tutorial, which isn't going to be released to the public. It's only for people who purchase the class. You're going to get 4 card kits. And that means that all of the pieces for each of these cards is going to be pre-cut and sent to you in one of these bags. And then you just take all the pieces out, and then you can assemble them and stamp them, either watching the video, you know, along with me, or at your leisure. You can pause it, go back whenever you want. So you'll have all of your pieces there. And I will tell you everything that I used on these products and all of that in the class. But of course, if you want to kind of do your own thing, you can do that. So you're going to get 4 card kits. You're also going to get a quarter pack of the designer series paper. Let me just reach here. So you're going to get a pack of the rhinestone basic jewels that we used today on our thank you card. You're going to get a whole pack so that you can use them on your cards, in addition to your 4 card kits. And you're also going to get a quarter pack of the designer series paper that I used. So what you could do, so I didn't actually break this down into a quarter pack, and I'm sorry about that. I just kind of grabbed it off of my stand, but you're going to get patterns for each one of the colors. Okay, so of the 4, the only color I didn't use in the class was Bumblebee, but you did get to see an example of it here. Okay, so you have that too. So you're going to get that quarter pack, you're going to get your rhinestones, you're going to get your card kits, and then I'm going to have a little surprise goodie that I'm going to put in with your card kits that you'll see whenever you get it. Okay, so let me just switch back here. And let me see if I can. I'm wondering if I switch my camera, if I'm going to lose my comments. Hold on. Here I am. Okay. So I'm just going through the comments, and here's what people are saying. Oh my God, you guys totally played along. I love this. So, and yeah, chocolate chips, both of us. I'm telling you, it definitely. Kathy says cocktails. Awesome, Kathy. Mary, Girl Scout cookie time. That's right. Definitely cookies. All right. Yeah. So cookies are the winner today, but cocktails is a close second. And you know what surprises me about that? I really thought everybody was going to say coffee. So you just never know. You never know. And then I see Mary says down here, you never thought of stamping on the color cardstock. Yes. It's quick. It's easy. It has like a really cool impact to it. I have plans for what those thank you cards are going to look like. But yeah, so if you are interested in signing up for the card class, again, you can message me, you can email me, you can go onto any one of my social media channels, whether it is Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, and you can reach out to me through any of those places. And I would be happy to send you the link for information about the event. If you sign up for my email today, if you haven't already, if you have, thank you. If you've already signed up for the class, thank you. But if you haven't already joined my email list and you're interested in being on it, if you join my list today, you will automatically get a welcome that will include information on the class. And again, it's totally optional. It's just out there for you to see if you want it. And the nothing's better than is the theme for the class. So I really hope that you enjoyed this live today. I love being here with you guys. I really miss the Facebook Lives. And I was just recently talking to Mary about Paper Pumpkin. So I am also behind with getting you my Paper Pumpkin alternative videos. And again, I will explain later everything that happened that kind of put me off schedule, but we're rolling back in, and fingers crossed, I'll be able to get that alternate video for at least February's kit out soon. So again, if you're not already subscribed to Paper Pumpkin, and this isn't about Paper Pumpkin today, but we have a super cute kit coming out in April that actually has like a kids theme, but doesn't just have to be for kids. It's bright, it's cute. It's called So Cool. You can go to paperpumpkin.com and check it out. And you would have to subscribe by April 10th for that. So if you're interested or if you have any questions, just let me know. And I can give you more info about that. But everybody who follows me knows that I'm obsessed with Paper Pumpkin. And it's just kind of like, what's going on? Where are they? And they're coming back. So don't stress about that. I'll get some videos out on YouTube soon. So thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you, Mary, Angie, Jason. I'm so happy that I had all of you here today to interact with me. It's so cool. I wish I could go live every Saturday at this time. Patrick is on vacation today. So he's home with us, which is so awesome. We're going to hang out tonight. We're going to get some takeout. And I hope that you guys all have a wonderful Saturday night too. All right. I will see you again soon, and I'll have updates for you soon on my schedule. And again, any questions at all, whether it's related to the class, email, anything, just reach out to me. I'm here. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.